$25,000 home tax credits. Will it help or hurt? Let's talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, what's up, Dreammakers? Welcome back to the show. We're talking about what's real, what's hype, and what we should actually be paying attention to out there in the world of mortgage and real estate news. It's Today in Mortgage. Rich, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good,
I'm good
Michael.
too. And we are in the middle of the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. And one of the proposals to come out of the Harris campaign is this $25,000 tax credit for new home buyers. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I wanted to start with something else before we get there. As we've seen the Fed play with the idea of dropping the interest rate, we've obviously seen a ton of news come out about that. We've talked about a bunch of it here. I wanted to hit one article that was out of Fox today. The title of the article was "Waiting for Mortgage Rates to Fall, Why Experts Say It Won't Make a Difference." And the quote that I wanted to hit on here, Rich, was that says, "Lower borrowing rates will make housing more affordable over a 3 to 6 month period." The idea after that is that it would stop to be as effective. So what I wanted to ask you was just a simple question: why?
Yeah. What the agent, I can't, it's Ryan Serhant. I can't remember. He was a big, he had a reality show and he was talking about how it's really only going to be effective for 3 to 6 months. And the reason is because there's limited inventory, your buyers are going to have more purchasing power initially, which means with limited inventory, it's just going to be more competitive with the homes, and the homes are going to be bid up because they can afford to buy more with the lower interest rates. So you're going to see a little honeymoon period where you're going to get lower rates and the pricing is still going to be where it's at today. But then over time, with lower rates and limited inventory, that price continues to climb because of the demand.
So basically, this celebrity real estate agent is saying the same thing that you've been saying for about a year, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just data.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We saw it during COVID. I mean, we know what happens when rates are low and there's limited inventory. Demand is high.
We're going to move on to the second thing, and the thing that I talked about in the opener, which is this idea of the tax credit for first-time home buyers. $25,000 tax credit. The Harris administration, the Harris campaign, I should say, is putting out there as a proposal. We're pulling from an article in MPA Mag Today, and it says Harris proposes $25,000 tax credit to address rising housing cost. Rich, tell us how this would be structured and what that would look like.
Well, first, we're in promise season. So we don't know whether that's going to actually exist or not. However, it did work under Bush and Obama, those periods, and those were $8,000 or $8,500 back then. So it did work. And considering home appreciation and price growth in homes, that $25,000 kind of fits. But the problem really isn't they need a tax credit. The problem is they need assistance with down payment and closing costs. That's where for young buyers, that's where they really need it. The tax credit, not so much. I mean, it's helpful, but it's really, they need it in hand for a down payment.
Right. We've seen a lot of people just struggle to get that savings, to get that down payment so that, in this situation, then they could get that tax credit. So it's a little backwards, but there also is pushback, Rich, in saying that, like, hey, if we give people $25,000 on their down payment, then the sellers are just going to bake that into the prices, and we're just going to see home prices and values shoot up, by $25,000. And so, what do you say to that? Is that a real concern?
No, obviously, you put a $25,000 credit out there, it's only going to increase the demand more. So it's not the seller's gonna be like, okay, we can bump it 25,000. It just means that the buyers are going to be bidding up these homes. It's not greedy sellers. It's just the market. It's the way we do it, supply and demand.
So, Rich, if I'm a buyer and a borrower out there and I come to you as my loan officer and I'm looking at this news, is this something that I should hold on to with a closed fist and get really excited about? And how would you advise me on this?
I would not wait around for a tax credit. Those are promises down the road. Right now, you got lower interest rates. Things are trending down. You've got still limited inventory while increasing in some markets. So right now, if you can afford to buy with the lower interest rates, you need to get out and get after it right now. Don't wait. This is like we're in a good period where rates are starting to come down and prices are still pretty stable. Sellers are more aggressive in concessions. So, you know, get out there and get after it now.
It's a good word, and that's how we should be communicating to the people that are asking us these questions. So, Rich, thanks so much for that. I just want to remind everyone that these are the kind of conversations that we're having inside the network all the time. And so, if you're interested in learning more about how to be a part of the best network in mortgages, click the Grow link below. We'll get you all that information and more. Hey, Rich, anything else you want to say on these two ideas?
These are two positive things out there, possibly for first-time homebuyers. So let's celebrate that.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, Rich, for making us smart on this today. Thanks, everyone out there, for watching, listening. We appreciate you guys wherever you are, and we'll see you next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.